It's pretty late, and I'm just thinking of a lot of ideas. One thing that this phase of my life has really shown me is that I've been kind of living with a veil that I haven't really confronted because I haven't really been super active with my passions like that lately. And it's the veil of being okay with not living the life that I really want to live. And I want to explain to you guys this system of personality types called enneagrams, and it's about 9 different types of personalities and how they function in this world. And I'm categorized as a type 7. I know these things about myself from the top down, from this information, but when I'm confronted with these things from my own discoveries, is actually very visceral. No matter what, say if somebody knew you to a T, down to the very detail, it doesn't really matter until you acknowledge it and discover it yourself and find that depth in your own discovery, self-discovery. So type 7s tend to keep themselves busy because they feel deep down inside that they can't really have the things that they truly want, so they try to make peace with not having those things. This all comes from neglect from a parental figure, just a neglect of a guardian figure, or parental figure in their lives. I think what it is that I have a deeper sense of happiness and calmness now, that I can tell the difference between different levels of happiness. There's levels to this. And some happiness is kind of outside coming in rather than inside out. The happiness that I'm cultivating and that I have is a calm happiness, a happiness that I don't have to force. Those who know me, and if you're new to this channel, I'm a spiritual type of person, and I believe that once you find all these things inside themselves, happiness, joy, wealth, all these things, love, and doing that, you manifest that on the outside. But it doesn't mean neglect the outside, because the outside is a means for you to go through that spiritual journey. So everyone and their mom has seen the movie The Secret. And if you haven't, The Secret is about this concept called the laws of attraction, which means that you attract what you are. And we all have our own way of interpreting this, but the movie gives you a bit of tips of how to attract things and feeling gratitude. But honestly, the methods they gave you are they're good. You always got to feel grateful, and that's a great stepping stone. But you got to go a bit deeper. You got to make sure you're feeling good at your core. That's the whole challenge about this journey. And we're all doing this, whether we're conscious or not. But some people have the tools to be able to see in this darkness. Some people have someone to guide them, a guiding light, or some people have the courage to face these shadows, because it's a bit scary to face the shadows of the stuff within, the stuff that you won't tell yourself. But I think those places are truly beautiful because that's the point of where you actually grow from. That point, that underworld is where you grow from and reach the heavens. And I'm so grateful that the world and human beings work in this kind of way that, which on first hand it doesn't seem right as a pattern seeking being, or a pattern recognizing being. It doesn't seem right to have feelings like anger or sadness and all these things. But as a mechanism, these everything that's in you have a function, and everything that's happening around you, within you, is for you, for a reason. It's not just here. It's not something that you just get over. And in fact, the things that they tell you to get over, you'll come to soon realize at some point in this lifetime, you have to uncover what they told you to get over. You have to dig up the things that they told you to bury. And it's better that you do it sooner than later. Who would think you would have so much profound wisdom and guidance from your own childhood self? From your own childhood self. There are some domains that the mind does not rule over. The mind does not rule over a lot of things. And this is the whole point. Like, I believe your heart will lead you to your treasure. And as far as my case, I believe that my treasure is bigger than I can imagine. It's bigger than what I can imagine. And so I just make peace with what's going on right now. There's a lot of beauty right in front of me right now. But the treasure is really just the moment-to-moment experience and its metamorphosis in this almost blindness. This blindness towards the things that's going on behind the scenes. So we have to worry about those things. Those things are taken care of. And this doesn't mean that I don't have fears. I don't have things that I don't want to happen. But I know that even if there comes a time where my fears are right in front of me, it's happening for me. It's happening for me. Even if I face a trauma or an uncruel, unfair moment in this life, it's happening for me for reasons I won't be able to see at this level. I trust that. I trust that from this ground level, that I won't be able to see why this is beautiful. But I'm grateful for this moment, this life, that I won this genetic race, this possibility, this rare chance of having a human body. Yeah, so that's a bit of my mindset towards manifesting. So now it's kind of hard for me to wind down right now. So it's kind of tough getting back on the saddle and making moves, and because I get so into it that I'm like, gotta freaking sleep now, dude. How can I sleep now? I just dove so much into that. How can I sleep now? But I can't. That's what I love about myself, is I have such an intensity towards things. And shout out to my friends on my Discord. I feel like my friends are going to help me balance myself out with intensity. Like, okay, I don't have to be this narrow, such a narrow being. Like, I have open mind, but my focus is so narrow and obsessive that like it kind of leaves me with blinders. So I'm grateful for my friends for helping me balance that. So back to manifesting. Okay, so what are some of the things that hold me back from manifesting? So guys, let me just be straightforward with you guys. I'm just speaking right now. I'm just talking. This is, you guys are just peering into my diary, my journal, and it's very fun. I find that I can speak easier if I have an audience. I can uncover new truths about me. So forgive me if it's only talking about my life, but it is the Sajcast. Hopefully I have some guests, but I'm just trying to put this out here so I can connect with myself, and hopefully you guys can connect with this too. Just as a disclaimer, it's a bit of a selfish podcast, but I hope you guys just appreciate peering into someone's spirit and someone's journey. So what holds me back from manifesting is sometimes I'm a bit of a mirror. Sometimes I can get so into some people's lives, that I can completely lose myself. It's like I'm very sensitive to the environment, even my working space, my mind space, and I assume my spiritual world. I haven't really tapped into that sixth sense as much as I'm still in the beginning of my spiritual journey. I haven't really discerned those abilities just yet. But I'm a bit of a mirror. Like, I remember sometimes, like I feel like I'm so like into people's feelings sometimes that it's a bit toxic. Like, I can just reflect like, hey, you feeling good? You okay? And pull out stuff that they weren't trying to pull out. They're trying to keep down below. Not to say that I'm like some kind of like magical healer, which I aspire to be someday, or a magical person that can just cut through. We all have our things, beautiful things that we have. I appreciate that I can see people on that level, and people sometimes share a lot with me without me doing much. Sometimes I've been a bit of a mirror since I was younger, and a sense of self has been so weird for such a long time. Even though I feel as though I'm a very unique person, and I try my best to be sincere and not lie to people. But I think there's this inner like rockness that this earthiness that I've only just now have been able to cultivate. And it's just a little light right now, but it deals with being connected with my body and being aware of the sensations in my body, which most people aren't. But this isn't about most people. It's about, you know, trying to cultivate a sense of self. And I think I think that's what really, 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 now I put my finger on it, that's what really, really made me want to pull the trigger is I'm actually really, really cultivating myself. I'm really finding myself right now. Like, I've always wanted this for so long. Like, I always wanted to, like, to be, like, look inside myself and see, like, who am I? And I just see a Frankenstein of ideas and memories. It's like, there's a sense of self that's sensible. And I know that, your Buddha and all these guys say, give that up and it's illusionary, but there's a sense of self that at least helps me to navigate. But yeah, so I believe that I empathize with people and I take on a lot of perspectives and that kept me from building up my own grid to deal with life. And so, a bit of me feels like I'm behind in my mind. And who freaking cares? Honestly, it's not a race, It's not a race. I'm not hurting anyone. There's no race to growth. Some people never find these things, Some people never find out who they are, At least I have. I'm aware, and I, went through the battle of all these different things that kept me from being myself. And, there's so many things that's out here to distract us because a person that doesn't know themselves, there's a lot of money in that. That's like it's like a farm, like a farm for I gotta say a farm animal where you could just sell that and just make money off of it. And what am I talking about right now? Let me get back to what I'm saying. So yeah, mirroring too much. I think it took me a while to be honest with you, just have my own stance because I wanted to take on many stance, like all the different stances, but mine for some reason. But now I'm having that good relationship between my stances versus others, not versus, but like with others. But it's my life, so I have to take my stance a little bit more serious than others, depending on what it is. Discernment was a big thing that blocked me from cultivating things. Like, who do I listen to? Like, I was listening, not knowing yourself. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I did fall for a lot, but I know now I'm less naive, and I can cultivate discernment, and I can also look past it without getting too wrapped into bad decisions. Like, for example, this person has a weird energy. I'm gonna give them a shot, but I'm not gonna go too far with them. I'm gonna let them show themselves to me, and slowly go through things. I'm not gonna just trust my I'm going to listen to my gut and keep a note of that and keep it right, you know, right there. And it's going to be one of my filters. But I also keep an open heart for people who maybe just got something going on that they can't explain. You know, because I probably gave people bad vibes at some point, but I would never hurt somebody randomly. But I'm pretty sure I gave off extremely negative vibes at some point. So, benefit of the doubt. Mirroring, who do you listen to? Discernment. And that discernment is key. And I'm getting like goosebumps because something is really clicking right as we're speaking. Like, someone once said that you're always following a spirit. You don't have the option to not. And I was talking about discernment in the sense of ideas and authority of ideas. Like, for example, people say you can learn from everyone, right? And we should learn from a bit from someone, but I'd rather get the best sources I can. You know, the best sources I can. Because a lot of things are just a good amount of things that they call facts are just opinions. And a lot of studies are finite, and you know, there's a lot of things that I believe I can't trust. And I have to use my discernment on who's the person that's giving me this information. And look at them in all, like, well-roundedly. Because if they're going to teach you something, they're going to influence your life in many different ways. So you're going to be taking on a bit of your teacher's stuff. But what dawned on me just now is that people talk about discernment with spirits, right? And I feel as though there's been a bad spirit around me for a long time, and it's losing its hold on me. Maybe it's a generational thing, but I'm getting goosebumps all over because I'm like, I'm starting to see that's not the right spirit to follow. And right now, based on my own gut, I think the spirit to follow is the one that's going to bring me upwards. And everything else is just a lie. Everything else is just an illusion. Even if something brings me down, or it feels bad, or I'm going through some kind of trial, all that stuff is just illusionary bad spirits. The good spirits will take me to the path forward. I just gotta trust it. So yeah, that's a whole tangent, but I really felt that. I felt like something just like unclenched itself off of me just now. It's kind of freaky. I feel like something just came off of me. And a new openness to true inspiration. Like a real burning inspiration is available now. And it's all like here. What the fuck? Like yeah. And this is what I needed. it's beautiful that this all happened while I'm recording, pacing around my apartment at night. Wow, man. Like, so yeah, discernment. Who do you listen to? That's one thing that helped me back. Mirroring. Who do I listen to? And what else? General self-confidence things, not being kind to myself type of things. I've been a lot kinder to myself. There's been a lot of bad, desperate mindsets that's been popularized by media about you have to destroy yourself to win, like type stuff. Like, yeah, some days you gotta stay up and you're gonna be up and active and stuff like that. But you don't have to. That shouldn't be your base. You're not gonna make good decisions if you're tired and you're unhealthy. You know, you're not gonna make good decisions if you're living this hustle culture. Just do enough. Just do enough. Like, yeah, that's what it's about. Because if you're tired, your ability to discern will go down. You follow the wrong guidance of different spirits, and then next thing you know, you're back at square one at the lower planes, which, you know, I take it for granted. It's a beautiful place, but you're trying to graduate. I'm trying to graduate. Yeah, I'm trying to graduate, man. I'm trying to ascend. Like, man, I'm getting a lot of goosebumps right now, man. That's like, it feels like something is really coming through, right? It's like I'm recording this and having a real moment right now. I gotta end this right now. I gotta meditate because I'm going too far into this. But yeah, just to wrap this up, I wanted to talk about finding peace within and happiness in an organic way, connecting with that happiness, connecting with that natural joy, not rejecting bad feelings in order to manifest a good world inside and outwardly, and sharing the things that held me back, and also having a few moments live here. So I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Yeah, I feel like even if you're an atheist, I feel like these words, the things I say, can all be looked at in that perspective. It could be looked at in the atheist perspective. If you wanted to. Thank you guys for watching the show. I have an amazing time making these. So I'm grateful to the core for every person that decided to press play on this podcast. I truly mean it. Think of the abstract. And if you guys feel inclined to do so, don't think of it. Please send good energy my way. And literal, if it disturbs comments you. Or I take it shares. So, and if you want to take it even further, I would love if you join me in my community. I do think that through my Patreon, you can ascend even if you don't. But either way, take things I wish you guys well, like a spiritual, artistic, physical journey through this world. Namaste.